Yes, what's going on, guys? I have not been this excited for a Google Hangout in a long time, and I'll tell you guys why in just a second here. But for those of you guys know, in the group, we're releasing Grant's Golds. This is his exclusive retail arbitrage toy list. It goes live today at 3 p.m. Central. And so I just wanted to poll Grant. I asked Grant if I could have him just share with us for just a couple of minutes on how to maximize this guide, how he builds it, and how you as a member can go out and make an extra $5,000 this Q4. Not just buying the products and the leads on Grant's guide, but also applying the resource guide that he's attached with this. And Grant's laid out a step-by-step process of exactly how him and his team go out and source, and he's put up some serious numbers. So I just want to edify you real quick, Grant, and then I see you've got two guys behind you. I'll let you introduce, but if you guys don't know Grant, he's been a founding member of this group, does an awesome job in retail arb, and I just was talking to him before the Hangouts, and he's been doing around $50,000 a month in sales, mostly from retail arbitrage. This month, he's on pace to do between $70,000 and $80,000 in sales, and he's expecting over $200,000 in sales for Christmas, buying the leads that he's so generously agreed to share with you members of the group that take advantage of this. So, Grant, you got a heart of gold, man, but I'm excited, dude. Welcome to the Hangout, man.
Yeah, thank you, Gabe. Thank you. We're really excited about this list, man. It's been a lot of work. In fact, we stayed up until about 12:30 last night. I mean, we got done with church, got here at 12. Danny and I were in here in the trenches for 12 hours just getting the lists organized and looking clean. I mean, there's 100 leads total. So, and then we had to vet them, make sure that everything was exactly how we wanted it, all the figures and and all the stats were accurate. So it's been a lot of work, but we're excited to finally get this thing off the ground and into people's hands. So.
Yeah, dude, me too, man. So let me just have you introduce, I just want to do this real quick interview, man, and talk about how someone can capitalize. I mean, these literally, you've been compiling these leads. You guys have a team and you go out and just will crush stores, and you've compiled a hot list of leads, and these are mostly toys. So a lot of Toys R Us leads, and you've developed a really exclusive system on how to get maximum discounts at Toys R Us and then capitalize on the Black Friday sales that are happening just around the corner. And this is like your bread and butter. I mean, this is what you guys are buying. And I know the kind of numbers you're putting up. So you've really you're handing everyone the keys to the kingdom here. That's why I call it Grant's Gold. This is your gold list. But real quick, man, I see Dan and Charles behind you. So you want to introduce your team real quick?
Yeah, that's right. Dan, this is the man right here. This has been my best buddy since high school, and I've always dreamt about having some of my best friends working with me, and now we've got our two best buddies that we grew up with all working together. Charles in the back, my cousin, my brother. We were raised together for a portion of our lives, and we've been together since. And when I needed help the most, that guy showed up, right? And he started working part-time, and so he's been with me for the last, has it been almost 2 years now?
Yeah, probably a year and a half.
Yeah, right. I'm greatly indebted to Charles, man. So anyway, these are my blood brothers right here.
Yeah, dude, what a blessing, man. There's a key in that. There's no such thing as self-made wealth, I've learned. There's something called team-made wealth. And if you want to grow and scale, you got to find awesome people. So Dan the man and Charles, I know you've been there from the beginning, man. Glad you guys can join us. Well, Grant, let's just go right into this stuff, man. Here's what you've compiled, and I've got it. I've been looking at this list this morning. You have put together not just one list, but actually two lists. These are retail arbitrage lists, mostly toys, so Toys R Us exclusive leads, and these are products that you've got a strategy on, and then you've also included some bonus leads from Walmart, Home Depot, and Lowe's, I believe, is on that section for people to source from. So this is like the exact same list. When you guys go out and source, you guys buy these, and then you've also included a guide, a resource guide that you've given to members. And on top of all that, if that wasn't enough, you've agreed to do a special webinar this Wednesday. You guys gotta look at the date. This Wednesday, Thanksgiving week at noon Central, we're gonna be doing a special webinar for everyone who buys one of Grant's lists, and he's gonna show you exactly how to utilize this to capitalize for Black Friday sales. So you're like teeing this up on a silver platter, dude. But walk me through, dude. When we were talking the other day, you said, I believe so strongly that this guide and this list can help someone get results. I believe if they apply it, they can make an extra $5,000 in profits this Christmas. So walk me through that. How would someone go about doing that?
Right. I mean, right now the list has a built-in return on investment of about 27%. Each list are very equal in that way.
Okay.
That is now, right? As we approach the holiday season, these leads should convert at a much higher profit level. Some will be twice as much. Some might even be 3 times as much profit, depending on how they perform and how much demand there is. But as we know, we're going to kind of go off of the Q4 cliff here in about 4 or 5 days, right? As soon as we hit Black Friday, demand, it's like I was telling Gabe here earlier this morning, there's a lot of people in this country, I know a lot of them, that won't put up a Christmas tree until after Thanksgiving. That's the way it is. And so, yeah, they don't even think, my wife, she gets mad that Christmas decorations are up before Thanksgiving. She's like, no one's thankful, but there's people like my wife, right, that aren't going to be doing Christmas until they go off that cliff. And that's when demand, is threefold, I would say, and oftentimes even more than that. So that's kind of the power of the list. My opinion is if somebody were to spend $10,000, right, they should assume at least a $5,000 return on investment come peak season, right? So these type of leads. What you want to do is the goal is to buy them, hold them up until where you feel comfortable, right? But you want to sell them before the 20th of December. Otherwise, you could get into trouble. These are Q4 leads. These are Christmas leads. We gotta get it while it's hot, right? And you want to sell out. So there's going to be some of these leads that I personally, all these leads I purchased and more, right? But I already know that some of the stuff I bought, I'm going to maybe take a small loss on or a small profit on. It's all the ones that I'm, tripling and doubling my money on that's going to take care of my averages. And I honestly believe a person could spend $1,000 and turn it into $1,000 profit, depending on what they buy and how much of what they buy. So.
Yeah. Okay, so and I know you've ran these numbers real conservatively based on a 10% discount at Toys R Us and off Toys R Us retail. I know that people are going to be able to get different deals in their local market, and that's why, no matter where you live in the U.S., you can go around your local area and you'll find different deals probably than like I would here in Chicago, for example. But that's like conservatively based on current prices, not factoring in. I know you didn't factor in the spike in sales that happens. And you mentioned when you go off the Black Friday cliff, as you mentioned it. So just to summarize this, I mean, you said put 10 grand in product. You should see approximately 5,000 in net profit on the back end. Obviously, results may vary. We have to give, this isn't a promise by any means. We have to give that disclosure. This is just approximate based on what you guys are seeing. But just to put this in context, Grant, how much are you guys buying each week? Like, I know we're in like the home stretch here of Q4, and you mentioned getting stuff in and sold by the 20th of December. So we've got about 2 weeks left of heavy buying to take advantage of Christmas. And obviously you can still do merchant fulfilled. So there's that opportunity as well. But how much, just out of curiosity, how much have you guys been buying on a weekly basis this Q4 season?
In all honesty, we probably took an additional $100,000 over the last 4 months that, we've borrowed it, right? And on top of our normal spending habits, which was $5,000 a week roughly, we've turned that into $10,000 a week. In fact, 1 week at one store, this is a different strategy, right? And that's for another day. But 1 week we spent $20,000 in just 5 days, and 4 days of shipping we spent 20 grand, or was it 10 grand? Was it 10 grand or 20 grand that week? 20. It was 20 grand, right? Yeah, sure. This garage was like everything was piled up about 5 feet high on the floor, right? And then Charles had to take it like piece by piece, distribute it onto all these shelves here, and ship it out. That's how intense it was. But as far as like Toys R Us exclusively, right? We've been spending money there also over the last few months. I would say we've probably invested roughly $30,000 in Toys R Us. These leads, we probably invested at least 15 grand, at least, if not closer to 20. But what would you say? How much do you guys think we probably? I would say those are pretty close. Oh, yeah. And we're going back, man. We went on Saturday, right, and leveraged a deal, with the credit cards, the sign up deal, and we'll talk about that's in the guide and everything. We were able to get 23.5 to 25% off of our order, right? Then we used our reward points, and then there's sales happening all throughout the store. So a lot of these leads that you're going to see on this list, we personally purchased for far less. Significantly less, because of the sales that were going on at the time, or some of the special stuff we have in the guide. Also, though, because the sales are rotating out, so there's a lot of the stuff you're going to see on the list that when you go to buy it, it might be BOGO, right? Buy one, get one 40% off, or or something like that, or 30% off the whole department. Like we had a bunch of Nerf on Saturday, that was all 30% off, right? So we cleared those shelves because they were already profitable. Then you add another 30% discount on top of that. It's like, get them, right? So
yeah. So there's a strategy how you guys stack your profits.
Right.
You mentioned, turn my audio. You mentioned this in the guide right off the bat, how to use the guide that you put together to get 23% off right off the top of your purchases. And then you also are looking for sales that are happening regionally in your stores and stacking those on top of it. Plus you're using the rewards. So there's a system here that you've put together. And I really believe this. And we were talking before, I mean, the leads are awesome. And I mean, this would save somebody, I don't know how many hours or days or weeks. I mean, how long have you guys been sourcing to get this list put together, by the way?
Putting the list together has been a work in the progress over the last 4 or 5 days, right? We've been busting hump to kind of get everything organized. You know, we're taking all the info right out of our own inventory, right? Out of our own spending habits, and we put it on a sheet for you guys. But yeah, I mean, we source, in general, we source probably on the road 2 to 4 days a week, especially this time of year. But we spend about $5,000 in a day when we go out, right? So, and we can do a day trip. We can travel 2 hours, spend $5,000, travel back in the same day. But again, that's because we source differently than we did, you know, even 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I want to emphasize this too. You started small, and this has been a process. How long have you been selling on Amazon? Is this your second Q4 or third Q4?
This will be technically my second Q4 via FBA type of business, right? I did a Q4 with drop shipping, but I didn't know what the heck I was doing then. So
we all start there, it seems like. That's funny. But right. So point is, I mean, you're spending $5-10 grand a week compiling, getting the data for this list, and you've been doing this for months, actually longer, almost 2 years now. So it's not just it's not just the 5 days you guys spent organizing this list, but it's the months of work you guys have put in. And you're going to spoon feed that and give that to someone on a silver platter and let them basically buy the exact same leads you are and shortcut that whole process, which is awesome. Right. Zach and I were blown away. I'll say this on camera. I mean, we didn't know Grant had compiled this, and he's like, dude, I got this awesome list. And first and foremost, I want to hook it up and give it to all of our platinum members. So all of you platinum members, you guys, we've already posted that in the WhatsApp in the group. You guys are getting a copy of this just because Grant wants to be generous and hook you guys up. And he's like, dude, let's just make this available to the group and do it at a ridiculous low price. So we're going to offer these lists at $200 a list, which is total no-brainer to have
peanuts,
months worth of work. I mean, good night, dude. This really should be like $1,000 plus list, in my humble opinion, and people should treat it like that.
True, they should. That's the thing. My biggest fear, you guys, is that you're going to buy this list. You're not going to take it seriously enough. Right, like Gabe said, you do need to understand that this is a $5,000 list in my opinion. For me, right, I know what my numbers are. I know what I'm buying. I know what's on this list. Right, it's probably worth far more than $5,000. Right, because I plan to make $10,000, $15,000 just on the stuff that we're sharing with you in profit. Right, that's not sales. That's profit. Right, that's the type of money we're talking about. So please don't discredit the list because of the low price. Like, really take it seriously.
Yeah, we just want to make it available to you guys. I mean, I know we're putting up some big numbers here, and some of you guys are hearing that, and you're like, well, you know, I may not have a huge month like Grant, but if you've got a couple $1,000 to invest in your business, you know, 3,000, 5,000, and you want to get a return, there's no better way than just to model success. This is one of the keys, guys, to success. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just model what's already working. Okay, this is a big breakthrough I had years ago of trying to do things on my own and always trying to be right and figure stuff out. There's a level in just, you can be humble and say, hey, I'm just going to follow what's working. And that's what Grant's put together. So, and you guys, there's 2 separate lists, just to clarify. You can buy one or both of them, $200 per list, and they're totally separate leads. So these are 50 unique product leads on each list, and it's up to you and how aggressive of a buyer you are and how much you guys can go through. But let me ask you this, Grant, and then we'll just wrap this up and keep it short and sweet, man. Today at 3 o'clock when the list goes live, you mentioned the Black Friday cliff. For someone who hasn't been through Q4, what happens on Black Friday and for that week after?
Well, I mean, it really just boils down to the fact that there's a greater population out there that are not thinking about Christmas yet. And people are procrastinators. That's why this holiday selling season is such a big deal, is because people are going to spend just the next 30 days, right, shopping for Christmas. They're going to be thinking about Christmas, decorating for Christmas, listening to Christmas music. They're getting excited. They got kids. Those kids want these toys. Oftentimes these people are busy, right? Why are they shopping on Amazon in the first place? Because it's convenient and they're too busy to go to the store, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? And then there's this right here. Then there's all those people, right? Then there's all those people who wait until like 5 or 6 days before Christmas to buy their stuff. And yeah, right. This guy, that guy, most of us, right? And so what happens is demand is such at an all-time high, and then as you get closer to Christmas, the demand is even greater, right? And as demand increases, that means supply is decreasing, and as supply decreases, thus the price starts to go up in the free market, and that is where you're gonna bank, right? So again, I don't want you to buy these leads and think that you have to sell them like December 5th, right? Because oh no, it's only should get better. It should only get better. Hold out, be strategic. If you've got 50 of something, maybe start dripping a few, right? Early into in December, but save some, right? You want to sell some of these at 3 or 4 times even possibly over retail. It doesn't take a whole lot, dude. And so yeah, I mean, I've made some mistakes in Q4, and I've done a lot of things right. And I really feel like we've got it this year, dude. We figured it out.
You're cracking the code, man.
Yeah, we cracked the code. So now I will tell you guys. With that said, though, I just want to say real quick, though, would not have cracked the code without Samantha Gardner's help, right? I had a call with her, and this is the power, you guys, of networking and communication. Have an open communication with our sellers. Start talking, right? If you're like in a hole and you're burying yourself in everything you're doing and trying to do this Amazon thing, but not talking to people, not getting on Facebook and seeing somebody that's successful and friending them and starting. I just started the other day a conversation with a guy that does $170,000 a month, and he shops at 4 stores that I've been shopping at, and I'm like, what? He doesn't have more stores than I do, right? So what is he doing different, right? This dude's got like $700,000 in inventory, and he's doing $170,000 a month, and he says that his business triples in December, triples. His October over December last year was triple, right? Or his December over October was triple. So get out there and network. That's the power of that's why we're here right now, is because I've spent the last year of my life with extensive communication. I'm part of groups, right? I join the coaching stuff, right? I've got my own coaching that I pay for. I'm also a coach as well, right? So it's all about gathering information, right? And then leveraging it and trusting the process. That's a big part of it. Is sometimes when a guru, or I'm not saying I'm a guru, but Samantha Gardner, she's definitely a guru. When a guru tells you something, sometimes it's hard to believe it until you do it. And so that's really what it comes down to, is you got to take action and prove it to yourself. So.
Yeah, man. You're speaking of the power of a mastermind, dude. And I know we've got our internal leadership masterminds, and you have your mastermind with your team. Samantha Gardner is a platinum member, and ditto. She's super smart. In fact, we're going to multi-channel with her. She's just playing the game at a whole different level, and you do got to get around those people. So you're putting a little plug for the beginning of the year. Zach and I have been talking with you too about releasing some new groups come January. So when that opportunity comes, take advantage of it. So you're going to say something?
I was just going to say too that the crazy thing is what she taught me wasn't really necessarily new to me. I had heard it before from multiple sellers. I didn't let it click in my belief system yet. Yeah. And for some reason she was probably the 3rd seller that I talked to, was like, I smashed out, at Toys R Us in the last couple of years. And I was like, okay, all right, she's telling me her numbers and stuff. I'm like, okay, I think what I've been hearing is true. It really does work. I'm going to go for this. So. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, let me ask timeline, and then we'll just wrap up, man. The guide speaks for itself. When you guys buy the guide today, the first one and the second one, you'll get Grant's sourcing guide, which is his exact strategy, how to get that 23% discount and stack the savings like he does, how he prices really his whole. I mean, you're getting Grant's whole system, and then also the list if you want to buy one or both. Timeline wise, Grant, I want to talk about this. This information is time sensitive. The list size are limited. We're limiting each list to 50 members each. And you believe this is going to protect you from your business. Obviously, these are your leads. So you're really exposing your business by offering and letting other sellers come sell on these listings. But you felt comfortable enough, even with letting 50 members, this is all it's all different parts of the country. So the chances of you finding all the leads, you probably won't find all the leads in your market, but you'll find pockets and things. Timeline wise though, when is this list good for? How long can someone be buying off this list to take advantage of Q4?
If you can get it into Amazon FBA before before they basically aren't going to be able to fulfill the shipments before Christmas, right? If you can get it in there with at least a week maybe of time, you can probably source and ship in, depending on your location, right? For me, early December is probably, if at all, right? We don't know what's going to happen. We know that after the 25th, is going to get jacked, right? We've seen it happen year after year. Amazon can hardly keep up with the demand almost year after year, even with all the extra employees that they hire, right?
Yeah.
So who knows, right? It's going to depend on shipping speeds and how efficient everything is running, how efficiently Amazon is receiving inventory at the time. But you should be able to source this list all the way through the early part of December. And if you are in the right location, you should be able to ship that stuff in and get it live in time to sell before Christmas. For us, right, we're in the Northwest, we're up in like, Washington. So it takes a little bit extra time for our stuff to go live compared to like the rest of the nation. So I personally, I mean, for me, no matter what, the early part of December is really pushing it if I want to get it into FBA in time.
So just to quantify this, I mean, we're pre-Thanksgiving recording this video. We're before Black Friday it starts this Friday, and Black Friday on Amazon, they do a week-long promo now. I don't know if you guys have seen the commercials on TV. It's like they've turned Black Friday into Black Friday week. So by when though in December would you suggest someone have it all sent in? Is it like the first 2 weeks of December, or how long do they have?
I mean, everybody's shipping speeds are different. If you know how long it takes for you to ship an item and it to go live at Amazon. For me, it can be 10 days, right? 10 to even 14 days, depending on what it is and how far it went, right? If I got to ship all the way across the country, it's going to take some time. So depending on how fast your stuff goes live, just gauge it out, right? If you know that you've got 6 days before your stuff, from the time you ship it out to the time that it goes live, and you still got, it's only like the 10th of December, right? Well, then you're going to have it live by the 16th of December. That's if, again, it depends on shipping speeds at the time, but you'll have it live by the 16th of December. And then you want to sell it by like December 20th at the latest, again, depending on shipping speeds. If FBA is not able to, and you're going to start seeing it on Amazon, this will probably arrive after Christmas. If you start seeing that, it's like too late. You should have sold your stuff already, right? Because now people aren't going to be buying it because they're not going to get it in time, right? So you don't want to wait until after the holiday rush.
Yeah, so short answer is the sooner the better. Realistically, depending on when you guys watch this, the list goes live today. You've got about 2 full weeks from most people in the country to be sending stuff in. That would put you till the beginning of December. And then after that, if you want to take advantage of it, can you still sell this stuff merchant fulfilled grants? Or what would you do if it's like December, let's say it's like December 15th, and you're like, should I keep sending stuff in, or should I do merchant fulfilled? Would you use merchant fulfilled at that point, or what's the strategy with that?
Yeah, our plan, right? This is something I learned from Devin and some other sellers as well. But our plan is to try to, we have a really wide net, and that's what I really encourage everybody to do. Again, it's in the guide. Cast a wide net, and then when you see some of these SKUs selling for outrageous prices, and you know that you can make money merchant filling and get the sales as a merchant fulfill seller, right? Then there's going to be a handful of SKUs that you can run around to these stores, swipe up, list onto your account as a merchant fulfill product, right? And in some cases, depending on the rank and how much demand there is for that item, it may sell before you even walk out the front doors of that store, right? And then you go home, you pack it up, you stick a UPS or USPS label on it and ship it to your customers. You can make money on these leads. And again, not just these leads, but again, these are leads, right? These are all actionable, profitable leads right now. But here's the thing, and this is, and again, and they're Toys R Us leads, but you should be able to take this same information. What is it leading you to, right? Can you go to Walmart and look at these categories and find those at Walmart, scan them, and because Walmart's cheap, right? They're like the low price leader of the world, right? Other than maybe Amazon. Well, depending on who you're buying from on Amazon. Yeah. But right, so you should, like, for example, I'm thinking of like a Baby Alive, right? There's a product, Baby Alive. This is a freebie for you guys. Baby Alive, I know you can buy for, I think, $39, or at least you could a couple days ago. Devin showed me you could buy it for $39.99. Well, with a 10% discount at Toys R Us, you're going to buy it for $44.99. But it's a great product. It's a great opportunity to at least have a couple of units, because those things can pop at $100, $120, $150 during the holidays. So
yeah. Dude, I get so pumped up, dude. I just want to
Me
say
too.
thanks, man, for being so generous. You just like lobbing, you just lobbed out the baby alive softball for you guys watching. But this list is, I mean, you didn't have to do this. You could have easily just kept this list to yourself and make your money. I forget which comedian said, make your money, boo boo. I forget who says that. But you're like, dude, I just want to be generous, and you've always had such a generous heart with the platinum members in our group. So I appreciate you, man. I told Sarah about this last night because I'm like, we're going to do this, quick list this week. And it's kind of our Thanksgiving gift to the group. And we hooked it up to the platinum members as a gift too, just to say thanks. And she's like, I want to buy toys. And so we were in Toys R Us on Saturday, applying your discount strategy. And we were sourcing some toys for some other kids that we get stuff for. And she's like, I want to buy. I'm like, well, you got to buy the list though.
Right.
I'm like, Grant, this is like Grant's heart and soul. And she's like, I'm in it, dude. She wants to, she's a good buyer though. So we're working on getting her trained on what to buy and whatnot. But all right, dude, well, that's the timeline, guys. This is time sensitive information. We're going to wrap up and keep this short. I just wanted to pick Grant's brain for just a couple minutes today and kind of give you a behind the scenes of why he did this, where the list comes from. And I just want to, guys, this is like it's Grant's gold. This is like his business. So treat it with respect, treat it like a $5,000 list, forget the inexpensive investment it is for your business, and just go out there and crush it, man. That's the last thing I want to leave you guys with is we'll give you the tools. Grant's giving you the guide. We're giving you the actual leads. We teed this up for you. You've got to take massive action. Okay, so we want, before you go by and you pick one of the lists or both, I want you to all agree right now. Yes, Gabe and Grant, Devin and Dan and Charles, I'm going to take massive action and create the results. And you got to do it for your family, man. It's a lot of fun. So Grant, appreciate you, brother, dude. You didn't have to do this, and I really appreciate your generosity.
Yeah, we appreciate you, and we love the group. We got the best community in the space, so pretty excited for everybody that's about to get in on this stuff. So
yeah, man. Well, here's what's going to happen next, guys. At 3 p.m. today, the list will go live. We're capping it at 50 members per list. There's 100 unique leads, 50 leads per list, and there's close to 500 members in the group. So I expect this to go fast. First come, first serve. Just like everything we do, it's the only way we know how to keep things fair. And I learned that from Zach and his 7 kids. He does the same stuff. And this is like Zach's immediate family, and then we're like the extended family. So first come, first serve. When you sign up today, you're going to get an instant download link to download and read Grant's guide. So go through that, start studying that. And then Dawson will be emailing you within the next 24 hours, probably sooner than later, but he'll be sending you a personal email with the actual list. So we ask that you study the guide first, invest in your education first. That way you know exactly how to use the guide. Then you'll be given the list basically the same day you sign up. And then this Wednesday, the deadline to sign up, this is very important, write this down. This Wednesday, which I believe is November 23rd, at 11 a.m. Central, this is noon Eastern, we're going to close down the list if it hasn't filled up already. Like I said, first come. And then at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll have Grant back on to do a special private webinar just for members that have purchased the list. And he's going to go through, and we're going to talk live about how to capitalize on the list, basically how to implement the guide. And then if you have any questions, this is your opportunity for direct access to Grant. And as always, I'll be facilitating that webinar and, kind of spoon feeding Grant those questions that you guys have. But this is your chance to get direct access to Grant. You're getting months worth of his team. Easily $5,000. Like you said, Grant, you would have bought, you told me the other day, you're like, dude, any serious seller would buy both these lists. I mean, you want to be, it's just the time savings alone is there. So super generous, dude. Appreciate you, man. That's the timeline, guys. So be ready today at 3 p.m. And Grant, I know you got work to do, man. So I appreciate you guys carving out a couple minutes to hang with us. Yeah, absolutely. Our pleasure. So cool. And Dan and Charles, Dan the man, appreciate you guys, man. I know you guys put in all the good work behind the scenes, and it's I know Grant does a good job, but it's a thankless job sometimes. So appreciate you guys, man, for putting in the good work and for being generous and sharing these too. So we'll see if any of the members can't beat you guys with your hustle this year.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome. We're hoping we really, we're genuinely, we were talking about it. Danny and I were getting chills last night because we're thinking, man, we're hoping this changes some lives. We're hoping this sets a lot of people's business on a whole new trajectory. Do you buy this? Even if you're not even completely prepared for this type of thing, right? This type of list, I would tell you, for the investment, buy the $200 package, read the guide, look through the 50 leads that you do get access to. And even if you have a really limited budget, start preparing your mindset for next season. Because even if you don't get to capitalize, even if your budget is so low today, but you think you might be in a different state come, October, November of next year, you want this information, right? I feel like I've received this information in small ways really early in my business, but I didn't understand how to process it, right? So I really want you to, again, you could read this guide, start implementing even just what's in the guide into anything you're doing, right? You don't have to, just again, the guide is worth $200, you guys. I spent about 4 hours writing that out, editing it, making sure that it was fluid, and it explains a lot of what we're doing in that guide. There's a lot of what we're doing that doesn't just apply to Toys R Us. It doesn't. It applies to everything we're doing. In fact, one little tip, right? Gift cards. Started using them in August, have already saved $11,000 in my purchasing. That's $11,000 of free product because I'm using gift cards, and I started doing that 3 months ago. So there's another tip for you.
You keep giving them out, dude. I gotta get off the webinar before you give it all away, dude.
You're getting pumped over here.
Though, man. Dude, there's another $11,000 gift. So you guys are welcome. Thanks, Grant. Dude, Grant keeps hooking it up, man. We'll just keep him on here. I agree. I'll echo what you said, guys, and I'll give. Zach and I give our 100% trust in Grant. We trust Grant with our own sourcing. This is a guy that I buy off of for our Q4. So it's got our 100% backing. We believe in Grant. He's got a heart of gold. So and ditto, man. I believe the guide alone is probably worth $1,000 just to get inside your head and spend some time with you. And leads is like a bonus.
Right.
But you need both to succeed. So, all right, guys, get the guide. 3 p.m. today. We'll see you there. Grant, Dan, and Charles, appreciate you guys, man.
Appreciate you all.
All right, man. Back to work. I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. See ya.